Hey everyone, it's Michelle coming at you up close and with my headband on because it is time to share an updated skincare routine. But it's not just any skincare routine. This is about my new baseline. And what I mean by that is my template, my blueprint, the formula of how I approach my skincare in general. It has more or less been the same since 2018 when I first started taking my clear skin journey seriously and started using a vitamin A prescription, the lowest being 0.1% adapalene. I have been using 0.1% tretinoin for a couple of years now. If you're interested in my acclimation with vitamin A prescriptions, I'll leave my playlist down below. If you're wondering how my experience was with 0.1% adapalene, 0.3% adapalene, when I transferred over to 0.04% tretinoin and now 0.1% tretinoin, watch the playlist. I'll also share a playlist of all my skincare routines since I started my YouTube channel, and you could get an idea of what my skin used to look like in the past and how far it's come to today. Before I get started on sharing my morning skincare routine, I also want to point out that this video, as well as all my videos on my channel, have no filter. This is my skin up close and personal. I am using natural light right now. I don't have studio lights or anything. I'm rather simple with my YouTube filming, but this is my skin up close with a couple of little breakouts, with texture, with a bit of fine lines. This is my skin as a 32-year-old woman that's dealt with acne for 15 years or so, and it's only been in recent times I've been able to finally understand why I break out, the root cause of my acne. The reason I want to mention that my videos have no filter is because I myself, as a consumer of YouTube content, social media content, be it skincare, makeup, hair care, lifestyle, health, productivity, I feel like more and more I'm seeing some sort of filter. It's a little bit exhausting to see it all the time because I feel like it really disconnects us from the reality of what people look like. I recently watched James Welch's video on Instagram versus reality, or TikTok versus reality, on how there are these new filters out where you can move your hand in front of your face and it will not pick up that there is a filter on camera. James also touched upon body filters in the past, and I'm just finding the online world becoming more and more ridiculous with these filters. Now, I am not innocent when it comes to filter use. In fact, on my Instagram, I used to use a light beauty filter, one that would kind of smooth out my skin but still show some texture. And I stopped using it back in 2020. So I'll start with why I was using it in the first place. Well, like everyone else with a smartphone, the camera on these phones are really good. So good that they pick up texture and color on our skin that we can't even see with the human eye. So as you can imagine, when you try to take a selfie of yourself and you see all this texture that you didn't catch in the mirror before, you kind of get self-conscious about it and you want to cover it. So I thought using the lightest beauty filter on my phone would help because I felt like the pictures I took with that beauty filter were more reflective to what I saw in person in the mirror. But as I posted throughout the years and, my skin was clearing up, I was getting comments on how nice my skin was looking. And of course I appreciated it, but I couldn't help but feel that I was not being 100% honest with my clear skin journey because I was using a light beauty filter. And again, even though I felt like it was reflective of what I was seeing in the mirror, it felt dishonest. So since that time, I stopped using a beauty filter on my Instagram, but my YouTube, I have never once put a filter on my YouTube video. I don't know how, and I frankly could not be bothered to learn when it comes to editing and dealing with all these product shots and everything. It's rather exhausting, especially if you have a full-time job outside of YouTube. So as it stands, since mid-2020, there have been no beauty filters on my Instagram posts or videos, And on my YouTube channel, there have been 0 filters on any of my videos. Because of this exhaustion that I've been feeling of seeing so many videos with filters on it, that's why instead of doing an overly complicated, professional, put together update on my baseline skincare routine, I just wanted to do a good old-fashioned skincare routine where I sit down and talk through it. Having said that, let's get into this morning skincare routine, starting off with the first step, which is cleansing. Now, in the past, I either cleansed my face with an actual cleanser, I used my hydrating toner to wipe my face, or I would do a water cleanse. So I would just splash my face a handful of times with lukewarm water. In my new baseline skincare routine, the cleansing step, it's either between a water cleanse or using a creamy cleanser. It really depends on how my skin feels that morning. So today I woke up at 7 a.m. and I'm filming this now in the afternoon. It's past 12 p.m. So there's been quite a bit of time since I woke up. My skin is feeling a bit more parched and dry because I was busy doing other things and setting up for this video as well. So having said that, I'm going to go in with a creamy cleanser just to feel like I'm replenishing my skin with moisture during this cleansing step. For that, I'll be using Eucerin's DermatoClean Hyaluron Milk Cleanser. I've used this cleanser a couple of times already and I love it. I love this milky texture, how thick it is. It's not as runny or as lotiony as CeraVe's hydrating cleanser. It's truly milky and I just have been enjoying it. So as you can see, I'm putting it on dry skin and I find this method is really good at just massaging some of the dry, flaky skin off and getting a bit of grit off my skin. Already with this feeling of moisture, my skin feels really nice. Almost like it's telling me about damn time I put some type of moisture on my skin. And it's that feeling that I find it's the best time to use a creamy cleanser in the morning. Otherwise, if I just do my skincare routine right away after waking up, I still feel a bit of moisture on my skin, especially depending on what I used the night before, and I could just quickly splash my face with some water. But today is a day of extra nourishment. Cleanser has been massaged in, and just so you know, I typically only cleanse my face between 20 to 30 seconds max. I don't want to overly cleanse my face because I notice with over cleansing there's more problems. So having said that, I'm going to run to my sink, rinse all the cleansing off, and proceed with the rest of my skincare routine. Cleanser has been rinsed off. When I went to look at the mirror, I actually saw a bunch of grit around my face. Before we get into the next step, I want to quickly mention for those of you that are new to my channel that I like applying my skincare on slightly damp skin. I don't like it being super dry, but I also don't like having excess water. So I patted my face with a face towel to remove this excess water. But because I'm talking through each step, I'm going to be spraying my face with a mist just to keep my face damp. I typically do not do this in my skincare routine in general. It's just for the purpose of this video because I'm talking through each step. So the skincare on my face is drying out. For that, I'll be using Neod's Superoxide Dismutase Saccharide Mist. Gotta finish this up, so I thought I would use it for this purpose in today's video. If you're interested in a review on this mist, I've already done one. I'll leave a link to that in the description box down below. The second must-have step in my baseline skincare routine is to use a type of barrier strengthening product. So typically this comes in the form of a serum. Now what I mean by a barrier strengthening product is that it needs to help maintain my skin's moisture balance. It needs to protect my skin from environmental stressors, so it has some type of antioxidant protection. Also, it boosts the quality of my skin and the strength of my skin in general with ingredients like ferment lysate. I've said this in previous videos and I will say it again. Ever since using a fermented lysate serum, I have been hooked. I've just seen such improvement in my skin quality in general. Even though it's one of those woo-woo products that don't have a ton of clinical studies behind them, for me, I'm willing to spend the money on them because I have seen it work for my skin. I've seen it make a difference despite all these years of using other actives in my skincare routine. The reason why a barrier strengthening product has become very important in my baseline skincare routine is because I am in my early 30s now, so the concept of well aging is more of a focus for me. For today's skincare routine, I will be using the Yunjak Whole Plant Effect Concentrate. I heard about this serum from Odile Monod when she was talking about Hanbang skincare and how to approach your skincare routine at certain phases of your life. I'll leave a link to that video in the description box down below. But intrigued by that video, I wanted to pick up one of the products mentioned in it. And this was one for those of us that are in our 30s. So with this serum, I just take about 4 drops. And on slightly damp skin, this is enough for my face and neck. This is a nice serum. It's a bit more emollient than the Misha one, which has a more gel lightweight formula. I would say between the two, I like the Misha one more. But for the winter months, this one has been really nice just to really up the moisture levels in my skin. What intrigued me about this serum in particular is that it has fermented red ginseng. I've been highly curious about red ginseng in general, so when I found out that this was a fermented red ginseng product, I most definitely wanted to try it. I actually also DM'd Odile Monod on Instagram. She's very good at responding if you ever have a question for her, even on her YouTube channel. But on her Instagram, I did ask what type of quality the red ginseng was in this particular serum, since she did recommend it. And I also watched her video on the history of red ginseng, how important it is, and how to spot the different qualities. On Yunjak's official website, it was really hard to navigate, and I did not find out what type of red ginseng they use. So I messaged her and asked if she happened to know. And what she told me is that they use field-grown fermented red ginseng. Keep in mind, it's only her word about the quality of the red ginseng in this formula, but nonetheless, this contains fermented red ginseng. After using this, I already feel a layer of moisture on my skin. It feels pretty nice and calm. And I found, because of this extra layer of moisture I felt on my skin, it would be perfect for the winter months. And I can imagine during the warmer months, I could do my cleansing step with a creamy cleanser, go in with this serum, and then follow up with a moisturizing sunscreen, and I'd be good to go. But anyways, let's proceed with the rest of this baseline skincare routine and what I feel like are must-haves. Of course, my third must-have step in my morning skincare routine is moisturizer. And I cannot not feature my Bioderma Atoderm Intensive Balm, my holy grail moisturizer. I have been using this for many years, and as you can see, I already almost emptied out this tube. Again, both me and my husband use this as our day and night moisturizer, and I've also been using it on my body. So that's why it runs out very quickly in my home. This moisturizer is a really nice light cream texture, very easy to layer on your skin if you feel like you need more. I can use this both in the warmer and cooler months, but I find that lately my skin's been feeling a lot more balanced. So in the warmer months, I can definitely skip moisturizer. But for the purpose of this video, when talking about must-have products in my skincare routine on a daily basis to have on hand, most definitely a moisturizer is part of it. This moisturizer has just been so reliable throughout the years. I can always count on it to not further irritate my skin, especially during the worst skincare breakout days when my skin just felt very dry and the moisture levels were not that great. I can always go in with layers and layers of this moisturizer and it would not exacerbate any of my skin problems. The only time I would notice some type of congestion would be in the warmer months, and that would only be if I applied too much of that moisturizer. Otherwise, a really light layer of that is enough for my skin in the warmer months. However, if there is a nice moisturizing sunscreen that comes along, I can skip the moisturizing step altogether during the warmer months. But in the colder months where my skin wakes up a little bit more parched because of all the heat on, most definitely moisturizer is a go-to. That brings me to the final must-have step in my baseline skincare routine, that is sunscreen. So I am a Fitzpatrick skin type 3 to 4. The reason I border between them is because in the winter, I get very pale. I also freckle when I'm exposed to the sun. But the reason I'm very much a Fitzpatrick skin type of 4 is because I never burn. In fact, in my 32 years on this planet, I can count on one hand the number of times I've burned in my life. And I had to really go out of my way to overexpose myself in the sun for hours. I'm talking like early afternoon till when the sun set for me to burn. And the one exception was when I first went down south to Cuba and overdid it with the sun exposure because I'm so used to not burning that I did not realize how intense the Cuban sun is. So that was like the one time I burned really badly. Aside from that one incident, my skin is very good at protecting itself from the sun. But the reason why I still use sunscreen is because I use actives in my skincare routine that may make my skin more photosensitive, so more sensitive to the sun. And I don't want my skin to be damaged in any way because I'm using these actives. So using a sunscreen is one method of defense from the sun, especially when I'm going in with these types of actives. The sunscreen I'm going to be using today is La Roche-Posay's Anthelios UV Moon 400 SPF 50 plus. This is the latest sunscreen from La Roche-Posay. With the new UV Moon 400 line, I most definitely wanted to pick it up and give it a try, and I opted for the cream version. With this sunscreen, I use about 4 pumps all over my face and neck. That's what 4 pumps looks like, and now I'm just going to massage this all over my face and neck. No need to apply this in layers. That's one of my favorite things about non-mineral sunscreens. I can just most of the time apply it all in one go and not take time to layer it to prevent a cast. And unlike the Aven one, this one has no yellow tint. So it just shows my skin as is, but with a nice glow. And that's another thing I'm liking about this sunscreen so far. My skin does not feel greased up at all. With this new cream SPF, I feel like in the warmer months, I can get away with using it on its own. Too early to tell because it's not in the warmer months yet, but we shall see. And there we go, sunscreen applied all over my face and neck. Doesn't look overly greasy, doesn't have a cast on it. Feels comfortable, feels like it added extra moisture to my skin. So far, 2 thumbs up. All right, and that is it for my new morning baseline skincare routine. As you just saw, it requires a max of 4 products total. And just to show you the different variations I can do in my skincare routine, if my skin is feeling sufficiently moisturized from the night before, I would skip a cleanser entirely, go in with these 3 products here. And if it's in the warmer months and I'm really feeling lazy, I can probably just cleanse my face and go in with a moisturizing sunscreen. So this baseline skincare routine can range from 1 to 4 products max. In my old baseline skincare routine, the maximum amount of products I would use would be a cleanser, a hydrator, a vitamin C serum, an anti-acne product, my moisturizer, and my SPF. So that would be a max of 6 products. If we were to take out the cleanser because I would water cleanse that day, and maybe even the vitamin C because some days it may be too irritating for my skin, I would still need a minimum of 4 products. In short, with my old baseline skincare routine for the morning, it would range between a minimum of 4 products to a maximum of 6 products. Whereas with my new baseline skincare routine for the morning, the range is between 1 product minimum to 4 products max. Pointing out the number of skincare products I used in the past versus present is not to shame anyone who uses the same amount of skincare products or more. It's pointing out that I've come a long way in my own clear skin journey. The fact that I can only rely on 1 skincare product for my morning skincare routine, it says a lot about my mentality, how much it's shifted compared to when I started this clear skin journey. I don't feel like I need to rely on so many things anymore to feel good about myself and to achieve clear, healthy skin. That is it for my new baseline skincare routine in the morning. As always, I hope you find content like this helpful and informative. If you did, please be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to my channel down below for future videos, including the nighttime version of my new baseline skincare routine. I'll be posting that one shortly after this. Leave a comment down below on how your clear skin journey is going. I would love to read about it. Also, leave me a comment down below if you feel like there is a certain product that really fits this new baseline skincare routine. I would also love to read about that. Anyways, that is it for this video. See you all soon. Ciao.